Rick, after watching the tape, how would you assess the point guard play at Auburn?
You know, it wasn't a point guard play, it was our defense. We were not good. I mean, that was really the most disappointing thing. From our perspective, 16 points that are just so uncharacteristic. And not to take anything away from Auburn, but we were just not who we needed to be defensively, which obviously showed up in the score, especially in the second half. And overall, I thought we put a lot on Santi for him to play 39 minutes. And normally guarding the other team's best player, best perimeter player, and trying to get it going. We need to help him. There's no doubt he needs to get some help there. But I thought offensively the guys' disposition was good. We need more consistency out of our front line, obviously. But overall, the major takeaway and disappointment was our defense, lack of.
The defensive lapses, was that lack of communication?
Couple were, but some of them were just, I don't know how to say it. I mean, just plays you're like, what are you thinking? And the answer was, we weren't, and those are the ones that are tough when you give up, rim shots and different things that happen on them. And it's the smallest details, but it's what's got to, this time of year, those are the things that end up getting you beat.
Is that part of adjusting without Zakai on that end of the floor? Would that have anything to do with it?
Probably a little bit here or there, but maybe his presence too. I do think, obviously, we played in here without him and played good basketball and went there. He's still, you take 182 assists out of the game and for the year, and his presence. I mean, he's been a big part of our team this year. So I would imagine, and you could ask the guys, but going into the game, wondering themselves without having him, because he's been a mainstay for us this year. And I'm sure it was in the back of their mind, wondering how, coming down to the end of the game, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. And that's why, I think it's good that we can get back to playing as quick as we can. And I just know I got a lot of confidence in these guys. We went in and went through the entire season yesterday in our film session, talked about what we've learned from each game, and now it's time to put all that to work.
Coach, you mentioned the inconsistency in the front line. I mean, what do you say to those guys? I mean, Saturday, I think you got 3 points total out of those 4 dudes in the second half.
What do we say? That we need them. We need them. We need them. They're the ones that can help our guards. I mean, we can't continue to put all the pressure on our guards. And really proud of Tobey's effort. I mean, what he did rebounding wise. And to be honest, if we could just get those guys consistently to do that, and I do think, I don't think, I know our perimeter guys know we need those guys to get them the ball, but they've got to do their job getting the ball where they're able to be effective with it, as opposed to just catching it where the defense wants them to catch it. And that's the hardest part of the game, understanding, doing your work early, knowing where you need to get the ball, and knowing that everybody's not going to let you get it where you want it. I mean, that team wants to win too. But we just need more consistency.
And Olivier, I'm not trying to pick on it, but to go from playing as well as he did against Arkansas to, I don't even think he took a shot in the second half at Auburn. Is that kind of maddening when you have a senior that's that up and down?
Well, it's tough because, again, I know he cares. I mean, he cares deeply. But it goes back, I just think that if guys, and I've always said this, I don't think you'll struggle on offense if you get totally locked in on defense and rebounding and understanding exactly what our team needs from you, because these guys are good enough players, skilled enough players that they're going to score points just based on the way our offense is set up. If they will, when they start thinking about that part of it, I'm not just talking Olivier, I'm talking about any guy, when they're thinking only offense and not thinking about how they can impact winning without making shots, that's when it gets tough, and I think inconsistency sets in.
How much can this week help Tyreek, Julian, Josiah get healthy going into the weekend?
Well, I think, the last couple of days, they've had more time. We didn't do anything for really other than some individual work the last 2 days, and won't do a lot today, obviously, because our plans are to go to Nashville and hopefully stay for 4 days. And so we got to, again, make sure we keep our legs and all that, getting ready for just the first game, and because it's every game is a championship game, and so with that said, I thought Tyreek and Julian really had a like I said, I really like their disposition they showed during the game. I thought it was good, but we need. And I will tell you, from a defensive standpoint, not one guy played well defensively, and so we need that back from everybody more than anything.
You mentioned that you guys watched the film from the entire season yesterday or Sunday. Just what were kind of things that stood out?
You know, one, how fine a line winning and losing is, and how sometimes you get some tough breaks, but other times how you make some breaks, and but hoping that the mistakes that we made in certain situations, that you don't want to make those obviously again this time of year, but in understanding probably more than anything how there's so much that goes into preparation. And like I said, you ask your team, any coach asks their team after every game, I think they would say when they don't play well, what was your mindset going in? And I'm telling you, I've never had a player say, well, I didn't think we could win. I didn't think. They've always said, I felt great. I thought we were ready to go. But all I said to them was, whatever the mindset was at Auburn, let's not do that one again. Let's not do that one. So whatever you guys individually had, let's not do that one again. But and I said, but we had one of those at Colorado. Same thing, and a couple throughout the season. But I do know that a lot of what we went through in February with the injuries, kept guys from getting in a rhythm and wondering, because they work so hard, and it's hard on them when they want to play more than you can even imagine. But when they face some adversity, and it's tough. But again, I've said these guys have been resilient. You guys were here watching them today. They're out here working. They're going to continue to work, and I do think that we have a confident basketball team.
How special is the way that Santi moves away from the basketball, and how long did it take him to, I guess, develop it to where it is now?
Well, it's his conditioning that's really amazing. I mean, I can tell you during games, you hear players say to him, will you stop moving? You literally hear, would you just stop for a little bit, because he's constantly moving, and he would say back to them, yeah, but you'll let me shoot it. Without having to work so hard to get it. But he has to work so hard to get his shots, because people know that but you know what, he's good at it. I mean, he's good at moving, and he creates so many good looks for guys. I mean, you go back and look from an analytical standpoint, we get some really good high percentage shots, and so much of it is because he's being guarded by more than one guy, and people are so locked in on him, and his shot fakes, getting into gaps, those type things. And but we had too much on him Saturday. I mean, he was trying, not that he's going to do whatever he does, but like, he doesn't ever want to come out of the game. We got to get him out of the game, because 39 minutes doing what he's doing on both ends is too much.
Coach, you got a bunch of guys that were on this team in Tampa last year. How much of a benefit can that be to know what it's going to be like these next 3 or 4 days?
Well, I think they do know, and that every game has to be a championship game. It has to be, and I think the effort, the details, and again, getting ready, for a mindset that's what it is, because a week from now, it is for real, and you can either have 2 or 10 games left, whatever, but to do that, you've got to have everybody. We can't be talking about inconsistencies now. We can't. This is a new start of another, really the third part of the season that you go into, and it's time for everybody where we can't be talking about inconsistencies or not understanding roles, whatever. It's time that everybody does exactly what this team needs them to do to help us to move on.
Coach, how do you prevent guys from having tired legs when you're playing games every day, and you have guys like Santi playing the point guard position, which they don't typically play?
Well, the ideal thing would be to be up a lot and play guys. That would be the ideal thing, but that's not going to happen. But they're built for it. We played 3 days down in Atlantis early in the year, but the key is that we go into the first game as fresh as we can and work it. And again, as we've said all year, every game we'll take on a different personality, and we'll see. But I do know this, that we've got confidence in our guys that maybe hadn't played as much as they would like to, and maybe we'd like to get them out there, but we're not afraid to put any of them out there.
I imagine BJ is one of those guys, just kind of what went into the decision not to play him on Saturday.
Again, being in the game there and trying to get Tyreek and Julian minutes because you know they trying to get really Tyreek back in it as much as we could and Julian's minutes. But again, from here on out, we're going to have to do what we have to do.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.